All right, what's up, guys? In this video, we're going to pick up some calculus here. We're going to do some more integration practice. So we're going to evaluate the integral e raised to the 1 over x to the n, all divided by x raised to the n plus 1 dx. So this one looks a little funny, but we'll go ahead and deal with it. First thing I'm going to do, and you'll see the benefit for doing this in a minute, I'm going to rewrite 1 over x raised to the n. I'm going to write that as x raised to the negative n. So recall that if I move this up top, that'll change the sign of the exponent. Now you'll see the benefit of doing this in just a minute. So now the integral becomes e raised to the x raised to the negative n, all divided by x raised to the n plus 1, and then dx. So let's do a u substitution. So if we let u equal x raised to the negative n, we'll recall that du, well, that's going to be negative n x raised to the negative n minus 1 multiplied by dx if we use the power rule. But I can algebraically rewrite that as negative n all over x raised to the positive n plus 1 multiplied by dx. Okay. So all I've done was multiply it, or manipulate it using some algebra. So what does that do for us? Well, what that does for us is we get the integral. Now, since this became u, we just put a u up there. Now, remember, this was x raised to the n plus 1. So if I solve for the dx part, which I'll go over here and do, if I solve for dx, well, then I'll get negative x raised to the n plus 1, all divided by n. Du is equal to dx. And so what happens is, if I multiply, I'll get negative x raised to the n plus 1 all over n, integrated with respect to u. So that goes away. And so what we're going to be left with essentially is e to the u times negative 1 over n. Well, since we're integrating with respect to u, negative 1 over n will be treated as a constant, and so we can factor it out front. So on the inside, we're just left with the integral e to the u du. Applying the constant multiple rule and integrating, we'll get negative 1 over n. The antiderivative of e to the u, it's just itself. Don't forget to tackle on the plus c. Now, we just go back and recall that u here was x raised to the negative n. Well, I kind of modified it, or if you want to, you can just put it back as x raised to the, 1 over x raised to the positive n. All I did was algebraically manipulate it so it can make the integration easier. So all we have to do is put that back in. So your final answer here, we're asked to integrate e raised to the 1 over x raised to the positive n divided by x raised to the n plus 1 with respect to x. So your final answer here, negative 1 over n e raised to the, and if you want to put the 1 over x raised to the positive n back in there, you can, and just add a plus c. And that'll be your answer. All right, so that's how you do it. So let me circle that for you. So that one maybe a little confusing at the start, but pretty straightforward after I explained everything. All right, that's going to be your answer. So hopefully that made sense. Let me know if you guys got any questions. I'll see you next time.